The Blades Ramble is proudly sponsored by My Business Group, a group of brands designed to support owners, leaders and managers in business. Contact mybusinessgroup.co.uk for more information or follow the link in the description below.
Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
Hello and welcome to the Blades Ramble. Here we are, myself and Dave Leary covering for the main man whilst he's sunning himself on his Ollie Bobs. We're doing the countdown to kickoff. We're looking at Middlesbrough today and the big game that we've got at the weekend. Dave, welcome.
Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm well, pal. Yeah. There was just one thing that I wanted to mention just before we got started today. This little game that we've managed to get ourselves into is a massive privilege. I feel really lucky to be able to come on and talk to you about things that and give you some information I think that we get given by people connected to the club that we're quite lucky to get. Jimmy's managed to make some really strong contacts within the club and all around Sheffield United. And we're really lucky that we benefit from some of the information a little bit earlier than some other people. Now, we did give some information out last night. Perhaps it wasn't communicated in the best way by myself, but it was me that gave out that information. And as a result of that information, which was a little bit negative, we did talk about Tanganga not being a done deal like we thought it was before. And there's some doubt over Wu as well. And there was things flying around that people were saying to him. And he said we got the nod to give that information. But he received a little bit of abuse online and was upset by it. And the truth of the matter is, it's the same as having a go at the weatherman for telling you it's going to rain, because you shoot in the messenger. He's merely trying to give you a little insight into what he has learned and what he knows about the club, because we all care about it. That's what we're here for. We're all Blades fans. And if you hear something you don't like, which we do hear all the time as Blades fans, unfortunately, at the moment, sometimes you've got to just take that on the chin and dishing out things that are not really poor comments towards people. That's what this channel is not about. If you don't like what's being said and if you don't enjoy what we're doing, then just disengage with it. Okay, grow up a little bit and disengage, and just you can say what you want to your pals, but don't go into public formats and start having a pop at people, because this is supposed to be a bit of fun in the first instance, but also supposed to trying to give you some information that you might not have got. Now, I think it's been slightly backed because these two deals we're talking about for Wu and Tanganga, they're still not confirmed by the club. So they've obviously not gone as smoothly as we'd have wanted them to. We heard about Wu, I think, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, Dave, something like that. Yeah. Tanganga's been in the pipe for a while. We played his former club on Saturday. I was despairing a little bit that the deal wasn't done before Saturday. But we're still sat here on Wednesday and there's still no official announcement. We are excited at the minute because we think we might have scored. We hope that there is a deal to announce this evening or tomorrow, or certainly before the Friday cut-off, for what has to be one of the best defenders in the division. And I think it's been proven really that the fact that it hasn't been done, it has hit delays, it has hit snags, and there's many sources now coming out and saying that as well. So just let's not shoot the messenger, guys, because he does this. Yeah, he's made it into something really, really special. But he gives the information out because he can, and because we want to give you that information. So please do not be throwing it back in people's faces, because it is not on. Dave,
what can I add to that? Apart from I'd probably say don't judge people when you don't really know them, or don't think that you know them just because you see him on screen for 2 or 3 hours a week. You know, we've got to know Jimmy over the past couple of years really well, and he's a really good, honest bloke. So yeah, just be nice.
Be nice. It's nice to be nice, isn't it, Dave? Right. Yeah. So we're to look at Middlesbrough now. We're going into this fixture, I think, Dave, in a very, very unique scenario, in that we're going to Middlesbrough. It was going to be a tricky tie no matter what. We expected to be somewhere near the top of the table. We'd have expected Middlesbrough to be somewhere to the middle, to the top, somewhere in that sort of conversation, you'd imagine, come the end of the season. And it's always a tricky trip over to the Riverside anyway. But they're on sparkling form, it has to be said. They've won 3 out of 3, conceded 1 goal. Been to Swansea and won 1-0 on the opening day. They beat Millwall 3-0 away from home. No mean feat at all. And then they've gone to Norwich, who have still got Josh Sargent and they've still got a good side there, and won away at Carrow Road, which again is a difficult task. I feel like we go into this as underdogs. There's no surprise in terms of the form, but that's the case. But there is some light in this tunnel, because I think, like I just said, if these deals do get over, and we've obviously signed Danny Ings today, an announcement was made officially by the club. This is a really exciting one for me. I think it's someone who, if you'd have mentioned this to me 6 months ago, and certainly I think me and Jim have said about this before, we thought the wages would be way out of our reach. He's obviously played for Liverpool, West Ham United. He's got an England cap. He scored goals. I think he had a 22-goal season for Burnley or Southampton in the Premier League, didn't he? And that's at Premier League level. So this guy has pedigree that we haven't seen at the Lane for a long time. Some of the trepidation around it is the injury situation. I think he's been on the edge of sides as well as being injured. I know he's missed a few games, but I think he's been on the edge of sides. I'm not sure if it will dictate a change in the way that we go about the game, simply because I think he, as a lone striker, I'm not sure if he's your man. Certainly at Premier League level, I don't think he'd be used as a lone striker in that role. I think he'd probably play as part of a 2.
That's probably not helped him, to be fair.
Yeah, the changing tactics in the Premier League he's probably the closest thing we've had to a Billy Sharp style forward, in that he doesn't really rely on electric pace to get away from people. He's quick on the turn. He's got really good striker's instinct. And being a lone striker in that situation is not your typical thing, is it? Usually these lone strikers are either big, strong, powerful players who can hold the ball up, or they've got loads and loads of pace, and they're flanked by 2 very quick wingers, etc. So I think he's probably suffered by the change that in the way that teams play. I think it may dictate that we go to a 2, which I think may be really helpful, not just for Danny Ings. It might also aid Tom Cannon, who I think has suffered and is a similar mould, certainly not with the same kind of pedigree and same background as Ings, but it certainly is that type of striker, that reactive striker in the box, but requires service. It's even Billy Sharp in the wrong system doesn't work, as we proved twice ourselves, as it was proved at Southampton. You need to play a way that suits the guy who's going to score you the goals. I think he'd fit in nicely as part of a pair. What's your gut, Dave? What do you think?
Yeah, I think I totally agree with that. My concern a little bit is that we've got Louis Barry, and there's the talk about Redmond coming in as well, of if we end up going the 2 up top, how we fit all these guys in. And I listened to you and Lee last night talking about 3 at the back, which I've you can clip it up from the past. I've said I was happy we were moving away from it, but I see the argument for going back to it at the minute is just wondering how we sort of fit everybody in and who has to miss out in order for us to sort of play 2 up top.
My instinct, from my point of view, and I know this will get some people telling me different, I don't think you can start Gus and O'Hare together in this system if we did play it. Because I believe, and I said this last night, a 3-4-1-2 would be the way that I would try and set my team up, with Gus in the 1 in between the midfield and the forwards, trying to thread passes and trying to create things on the edge of the box. I think that's where he's most dangerous. I think dropping him in, he can do a job. Whether his discipline's there is a different conversation. I think he needs to be in that free role so he can go and get himself on the ball, drop into pockets of space, Cole Palmer style a little bit, in that he's no really big defensive responsibility on him to maintain shape and stay in one area. So I think that's where he fits into this team. The Samari issue is an issue, because I do wonder why he was on the bench and not used on Saturday. I felt like Peck, Hamer and O'Hare together just left us a little bit open in terms of going through onto our back four, who we don't think is up to scratch at the moment anyway. Now that might change because we do, like we said, I think there is additions that we could be making over the next couple of days. I think Ben Mee improves us at the back. I think Tanganga is arguably top 3 in the division when it comes to physical centre backs, guys who we think could probably bridge the gap to the Premier League. That's how exciting that signing is. With Ings as well, I think we're looking at someone who, if he gets going, we could be banging business, because I think he's proved he's too good for this level when he's fit and firing. So that's quite exciting. The other one is Redmond. Obviously, there's a little bit of is he going to be fit? Is he someone who's going to be on the injury table all the time? He's got experience. I think what we're adding to the side, which is massive in my opinion, from what we haven't seen a lot of, is a bit of character. And that's when you go 1-0 down. It's not about being 2-1 down at half time and then conceding 2 goals within 6 minutes. That's not character. That's something different. So I think that there is room for these types of players in this squad to try and balance it a little bit. A lot of the most successful sides have some kind of balance where they've got guys who've been around the block a few times and seen things. And in the Championship, you need that. If you look at a lot of the nature of a lot of the goals that are scored, there's a lot of 50-50 duels. There's a lot of organisational things, and certainly we've suffered with that a little bit. And I think that we'd be adding quite a lot of good experience with those players that we mentioned. Wu, we'll have to wait and see whether he arrives or not. He might give us a little option to go to a 4. And I think it's good to have both. Personally, I think it's good to be able to flip between the 3 and the 4 at the back. I don't know about you, Dave.
Yeah, so I was just going to ask you what your thoughts, because I think we're adding experience at the back. I mean, Tanganga's an experienced defender. If we bring Mee in, which I really would like us to do, but I've got a gut feeling that only happens if Robbo leaves for the numbers. I think that adds a load of experience at the back. Danny Ings brings a wealth of experience up the top of the pitch that I think that the glaring thing we're missing in terms of that level of experience is in the middle of the park, and whether there's somebody out there potentially we could look to bring in who's going to give us that bit of solidarity and organisation, from the centre of the pitch. I think we're crying out for it. I'm not sure who that is, though.
No, well, I mean, the Billing rumour was, I think that was plucked out of the sky, wasn't it, a little bit? And then we all love to jump on that because we know that at this level he'd be a top class player at this level. There will certainly be players become available towards the end of the window. They might not be of the experience, but we might get someone who's a level up from what we've got already, and certainly having those defensive instincts and positional awareness. I think that's the thing that at the moment, when you talk about experience, and we've had this discussion before, I'm talking about defensive discipline and if you look around most good sides, there is one guy who will give up the notion of attacking and threading and playing through balls and trying to be box to box. I think it's difficult if you're the one box to box midfielder with no cover.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's shown, it's evident looking at our performances this season. That's what Peck's been stuck with.
And I think Peck's suffered as a result of that, because I think he's in 2 minds all the while about what he needs to do on the pitch, because his strengths are linking play, progressing the ball forward, his passing, and he likes to tackle as well. But it's just not a guy who's going to stand there, drop onto their cam, for all the FIFA experts, drop onto their cam, disrupt passing lanes into forwards, etc. That's not his game. So I think he suffered a bit because of that. You could see his face. He was face of thunder, wasn't he, at the end of the last game?
Fuming.
Because he sent out a tweet, didn't he, saying, tough times, we stick together. He's captain material all day, but it's probably just a bit early for him. But I think he needs somebody next to him. It could be Samari. I think he's shown enough for me to get a nod, to get a shirt, especially for what we need at this moment.
I agree, but we're potentially going to ask Samari if he has to come into that system to play 43 games without a break. That's a worry for me.
No, it's a worry, I know, and I think that's somebody that we're trying to get with Tim from Everton, who's now a starter for them, by the way. I think we were trying to plug that gap a little bit and fulfill that, but I'm sure if with these free signings, I think they're very, very shrewd. You know, if we are getting these for decent contracts, on free as a free agent. I think that these could be very, very shrewd signings, shall I say? If I could say shrewd. Yeah, I think they'd be very good signings personally. So, yeah, I mean, we've got our own agendas as Sheffield United supporters, but let's talk about Middlesbrough very quickly because they are coming under a little bit of fire for some of their top talent at this moment in time. We believe, and again, until he's holding a shirt and we see a picture, we believe that Southampton may have had a £15 million bid accepted for Finn Azaz, who's a real goal threat. His numbers are fantastic from previous seasons as well. Scored at the weekend. I think that could possibly work in our favour. We will wait and see. We don't know. He might turn up and and do what Finn Azaz has been doing for a couple of seasons now. But he's apparently they've had a £15 million bid accepted for him from Southampton, who have started a little bit below par. As a Blades fan,
we can't say anything.
No, we're not slagging you. No, we're definitely not. But certainly there's been a little bit of a surprise, aren't there, in terms of the start for some of the perceived pre-season big hitters, as it were. And then we've got Hayden Hackney, who again, apparently, you read it, you don't know until they're holding a shirt, I suppose. But apparently, he's told them that he wants to go to the Premier League again. We don't know if that's true or not, but West Ham are apparently interested for him, which disrupts their team because I think they're their two standout names. They're their two most saleable assets, would you say?
Absolutely. Yeah. Two very important players for him. I was just going to say, I think I'm more annoyed about the fact that Jimmy being on holiday means that you and I have had to do some homework for tonight, because I can't remember the last time I did some prep work for one of these streams.
Well, there you go. If you're gonna, now you're doing it on your own, mate. You're going top tier, mate. You got to sort it out. But no, so obviously they come into this without any fear because they've got 3 wins out of 3. We've got 0 wins out of 3 in the league. So it's going to be a tricky game. They tend to line up 3-4-2-1, which is my oddly shaped Christmas tree that we spoke about on stream. So 3-4-2-1. Do you think we might match up to that at the weekend, Dave?
Nothing had surprised me anymore, but whether that reeks a little bit of desperation or not, I don't know. I'm not convinced that that's really how Sayers wants us to set up, and whether if he does go with it, whether it's just a bit of a panic, we need something, so I'm going to adapt or not.
Well, I'll counter that, okay? And what I'll say to you on that is there's been some criticism of Sayers because we think he's trying to play a system that he hasn't got the players for. Now, if we get a couple of these over the line and you look at what we've got, you could argue that the players that we have are better suited. Take Louis Barry out of this conversation. I think if you want to get Ings into this team, if you want to get Redmond into this team, if you want to get Ben Mee potentially into this team, a 3-4-1-2 or 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-3, however you want to do it. I think our players give us that flexibility at the top to play a 3, a 1-2 or a 2-1, for example. But if you want to get Ings into the side, for example, and you can't take Campbell out, I don't think you can. I don't think Ings will replace Campbell.
You think Ings starts? Because that changes how I think we set up. Because if we don't think he's ready to start a game, we don't need to go 2 up top.
No, we don't. But I think if that's how you see Danny Ings fitting into this system, I'm fairly sure Danny Ings has not come here to be told that he's going to be sat on the bench watching Ty Campbell do 70 minutes every day, every game. I don't think
no, he'll fight for his shirt like they all would and should. But whether we're talking about, he's not played a match since, I don't know when his last game was, and I can't look. But he's not played a match in a long time. So he's going to have to get himself be eased into it a little bit. It's not like I know Godfrey came in and played 90 minutes, but he played most of it at right back, which I think was probably easier for him to adapt to, given his involvement with Atalanta. Ings hasn't had a club. He's trained at a couple of them. So I think he's going to need a little bit of time to just be ready to start a game. So I'm not expecting him to. Doesn't mean we can't go 3 at the back. Like you say, you can play 2 off Campbell if you want.
Yeah. But one thing you can't do, Dave, is play Cannon on right wing. Is that agreed? As part on the 3.
I mean, do you have to be? What coaching badge do you need to attain to work out that isn't the right move? I can't get my head around it.
Which I think you might be right. I think you've got a great point on Danny Ings. I think he might be eased into it over 2 or 3 matches. I agree. That's probably what might well happen. So it might be a 2 and a 1. So it might be O'Hare in with Hamer behind a Campbell, which I think also is an interesting option. You've also got your 3 option, haven't you? So you've got. I don't think necessarily that Louis Barry couldn't play as part of a 2, and obviously then drift off into wide areas as part of a 2. It gives us a lot of flexibility, I think, playing with the 3. Certainly, I just feel like Hamer needs that freedom. He needs the freedom of not having to be one of the 2 that is holding position, is waiting around, is marking somebody else. I think we do need him between the midfield and the forwards. It does, by the way, as well, some more good news. It feels more like, based on some of the sources, don't shoot me if it's wrong, that Hamer is more positive about staying at Sheffield United in terms of some of the things that he's been going through. I think he's more with it a little bit. I think some good signings do help with that as well. I think that signing a Tanganga and Ings at this level is a great thing to have in the pipeline. Or if he knows it's done and dusted, obviously until they're on the shirt, they're not done and dusted. But if they're coming in and you see the caliber of player coming in, for a lot of these players, it's about trying to get to the Premier League, because we have players who can join clubs who are either in the Premier League or trying to get to the Premier League. And if we don't look like we're competitive for that, and the right offer comes in from a big club, be that for Gus Hamer in the Netherlands or in the lower ends of the Premier League, or a team that looks like they're going to actually go for promotion.
Birmingham. It's sign everybody at the minute, don't they?
Don't swear on this stream, Dave. Sorry, no, you can't do that.
I heard they were linked with Oxlade-Chamberlain earlier. I thought they are literally just going to try and sign everybody and hope that it sticks, aren't they?
They've been linked with Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Earlier, yeah.
I feel like I'm getting cheated on, and they've just found out about it. Why we should be linked with Oxlade-Chamberlain every year for the last 4, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, well, if you're going on this, that we seem to like signing players that sit on the treatment table, yeah, I think we probably should. If we want to keep the physios busy. I'm not sure that, although I fit Oxlade-Chamberlain adds quality, I'm not sure that his style of player is the most pressing thing for us at the moment in terms of what we want by the end of the window.
Okay, so I put it to you, Dave, that about the 3-4-2-1. I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you think we match up, or do you think we stick to our guns with what we've got?
He's got to change something. He's definitely got to change something. And the counter back I was going to make to you earlier is that we got 92 points with the same formation as we're playing at the moment. Not necessarily trying to play in the same way, all the players in the same positions. So I don't think it's necessarily he has to swap the formation around or who plays where. But clearly, Gus and Peck in the middle isn't working for the team. So he's got to change that somewhere. Clearly, Cannon is never and should never, ever be allowed anywhere near a wing ever again. For his own sake as well, for his own confidence. On that point, I'm going to rant a little bit on this, but strikers of all players in a team are the ones that rely on confidence so much. And when a striker's not scoring goals, that's when you tend to find they start to overthink things, overplay. They're half a second behind themselves because they're not feeling confident. So we've got a striker who's not really scoring, and then we go and chuck him out on wide right and go, oh yeah, you can play there, and expect him to do a good job, and expect his confidence not to take a battering when he doesn't manage to do the job that he'll want to do as well as a 22-year-old lad. And then he gets cheered, not by a lot of fans, I don't think, but by some fans for coming off. And I just think, from management of a team, I just think that is, I mean, it's incredibly poor to be naive enough to think that kind of thing is going to work. A player is going to turn around and go, a good professional footballer is going to say, I will play wherever you want me to, and I will do whatever job you want me to the best of my ability and the best of my effort.
Well, I think from his point of view, as long as we're playing one, we're playing Campbell, because Campbell's got so much more in the bank. When the manager, like you've said, a good pro, and they said, well, we need a solution on the right wing. Do you want to give it a go? Let's put you in training in there. I think he's a victim of being, amiable to the situation, first of all. But if he's not amiable, he's not getting on. He's not going to play, is he? He's going to get 10, 15, 20 minutes.
I don't blame him at all. I do not blame Tom Cannon at all.
So we think he's been out to dry. We could also then turn around to Sayers and go, why aren't you playing someone else? I thought Brooks did change the game a little bit when he came on. Yes, he wasn't brilliant, and I said this last night. But as Sayers been hung out to dry, was he probably promised more, as in not Kiefer Moore, more players in the right positions, because he's almost been forced to put Cannon there, thinking, not forced. But he makes he makes that decision. But what are his options, mate? What are his options? So what is it at the minute? Because Femi Sariki, we don't put him on right wing. We could give him a go, but and that's been floated. But other than Brooks and him, what are the options? Because I know Wilder used to do this from time to time, didn't he? He'd deliberately play a certain way or a player to try and prove that he needed some help. It was a message to the board. So if he was trying to do that, he could still have played a Kake and gone, look, he's clearly not ready. But at least he plays there. Not just, you've got two guys who, Brooks, who I don't believe is a right winger, but that's an opinion. But you've got, at least he's been playing there for over a season, that you could have started there. I don't understand what the thought process behind it was. Would you agree with me that Akaki's been the best right winger we've had in pre-season?
From what I've seen, yeah.
Yeah. So, again, we can second guess the manager all day. We don't know the full situation because we'll never get all that info. But for me, Cannon's been hung out to dry. Brooksy did change things. And I said this last night, he changed the way the defender thought about defending against him, because he was on his bike, the defender, rather than trying to plough through like he was with Cannon. Because Cannon hasn't got the feet and the agility really to go past players one-on-one in tight areas, I'd say. So yeah, it's one of those, mate. We can agonize over it. We'll wait and see, won't we? And hopefully there might be 2 or 3 more names on the team sheet. We are still crossing our fingers, hoping something drops during the stream.
I'm still checking.
Yeah, you're still checking, mate.
Yeah.
So some of the danger players for them then. So they've got Uncle Bryn in goal. Ayling at right, on the right of a 3. Surely he's one we've got to target. I mean, good player for Leeds in his day, but in terms of the physical side of the game, Louis Barry, you'd imagine, might fancy dropping out there at some point and going, come on then, me and you. I'd like to think. Fry and then Jones. Britton on the right-hand side of the 4. Aidan Morris, Hayden Hackney, Silveri, Whittaker, who we know, Morgan Whittaker's a capable man in the moment. Certainly has a bit of magic in the boots. Not really as consistent as we might have seen previously. He had some really good moments for Plymouth, didn't he, previously as well. Finn Azazu's their main goal scorer, main attacking threat, who might not be part of the conversation potentially. We don't know. And then Tommy Conway up front is a decent striker as well. So they've started off really well. So they'll be fancying it on Saturday. That could be the best thing about this for us as a club, is that they will see us as a bit of a wounded animal, go into the game thinking, oh, this is it. They also might be reeling because they've lost their 2 star men. And that's a factor as well. We might be on a bit of a high, particularly if we get some of these people, these signings through the door before Saturday's game and in time for the match. Just having them around the team on the bench. I always think getting new signings through the door really freshens up the attitude of some of the players as well. They want to prove that they're on the money. They want to prove that they're good enough. You know, we're signing guys who've played at a higher level than the rest of our team, which is a fact, isn't it? These three, certainly even Tanganga, who's played for Spurs in the Premier League as well and held his own in that situation. These guys are coming from a higher level, and I'd love to believe that some of our players are going to drag themselves up to show what they're about. It's professional pride. It's wanting to prove a point to your new teammates. Godfrey the same. I think obviously with his Prem experience, I think there's some players in there who will want to show that they are what they are, and they've been. And some of them have been terrific for us. There's a lot. When you look around our team at the minute, I'm scratching around for anybody who can put their hand up and say, I'm playing good football. For me, my level. So when you look at you look at our team from last year, I could go through, and I don't think you could tell me anybody who has reached the levels that they were at last season so far this season. So we know there's lots and lots of room for improvement, and I think that's the positive thing I want the Blades fans to take from this today, is that these new players will galvanise the others, or they will certainly want the effort might go up, certainly from the first half of that Millwall game. So I think the effort might improve. And we've got plenty more to go. So we've got plenty of room in front of us to get better and better. And would it be a massive surprise to see us turn over Middlesbrough? The bookmakers
love it. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Nothing surprises you. Well,
not United.
We'll hold a little torch, and we'll hope and pray that we can turn up on Saturday. Because if we do, and you look at the 11s there are players in that 11 that I would love to have in our side. Name certainly the two that we might be on their bike. So yeah, I think that there is certainly a decent team, but I think we more than match them man for man on a typical day.
If we get these players through the door that we're expecting, you look at that. You look at our team, our best 11 on paper, and you wouldn't be frightened about coming up against anybody in the league. They've just got to get playing right.
That's right.
We've got some real talent in our team. Real talent.
We'll enter the comments with that frame of mind, Dave. What I'm going to do is I'll DJ the comments, mate. I know this is unrehearsed, off the cuff, but I'll put them up and we'll take it in turns to read them, so they don't get sick of me babbling on all the time. Okay. You what, mate?
Making me do more work.
You're going to have to do something tonight, mate. This is supposed to be a tag team, yeah. Legion of Doom. If we continue to play how we are, Borough are going to tear us a new one. Super positive, Jack, living up to his name once again. Not going to lie, I've got such a sad life. I've sat waiting for more announcements all day. Oh, Jack, I'd love to say that I was above that, but we're all sat here. We're all sat with our fingers because I'm dying for someone to get signed while we're on the stream, to be honest. So yeah, Jack, we're all with you, mate. We know how much badly we need it. We're all with you. And it's nice to hear that we're not the only saddos around. Go on,
yeah. Go on. So Scott says, evening, gents. Thinks this might be Sayers last ride. Shawnee D will be ready to rock and roll. Would love something, but can't see it. A few more boys in by the door by the time this is on. Not quite. I'm hoping before we go off that somebody will have come in the door. And Shawnee D, I think that's we could do an entire hour just talking about that whole scenario, couldn't we?
We could, but we're not going to. Evening, gents. This is from Lewis, a regular commenter and Starman Platinum Rambler. Evening, gents. I think our ability to go there and get something hinges on defensive reinforcements and a shuffle to have Samari at the number 6. Yeah, we're like-minded. I always believe United can win. It's a game of football, and Borough are not Real Madrid. That's true, they're not. Up the Blades, up the Rambles. Like and subscribe. Fingers crossed for 2 more in before the weekend, in time to be involved. Lewis, we're right with you, mate. 2 more tonight would be, can we smile any wider if that happens? Well,
no.
Everything you say, mate, makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Cod-like plays. I don't like the news that West Ham are looking at Harrison Burrows. If Sheffield United have a replacement lined up, it should be Jamal Lewis, who is available for free. Experienced in Prem and Champ. We should just be turning down anything that comes Harrison Burrows for me, without a doubt.
Yeah. Again, this is business, and everyone's got a price. The only question I have with Harrison Burrows in the Premier League is the pace of the game. and whether there's no doubt his final ball, his quality on the ball is obvious. It's hard to find sometimes. It's whether he'd live with some of those 10-second wingers. They might, I don't know. It's a tricky one, but yeah, obviously we don't want to lose him. He's one of the best in the division, no doubt about it. So this is from Drew. Apologies for the pessimism, but I think we'll lose this. It's never a great place for us, even when we have a settled side. Be happy to get a draw at this point. Yeah, Drew, I'm with you a little bit. Riverside's never been a happy hunting ground for Sheffield United, but I'd like to be optimistic. It feels a bit different. I don't think they're going in as such strong favourites, and based on they're massive favourites, but on paper, if they lose their 2-star men and we had a couple of our prospective signings in, it's hard to think how much they would be favourites against us, if you know what I mean. And typically when we go there, usually we're in the top 3, 4, 5, and they are 7, 8, 9, something like that. And yeah, we find it difficult because the roles are reversing. Being an underdog sometimes suits a team going into a game, and it may be that they think they're going to steamroll it. And
I love your positivity and optimism. It's unshakable, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't last night, mate. I was absolutely killing. Jimmy gave me this list of things to read out. I went, Jim, honestly, it's depressing. It's absolutely killing me. But anyway, we'll go for it. We'll carry on.
So John says, hope you had a good holiday, Jim. Well, I hope he's having a good holiday because he ain't here. Think Ings signing's a great deal. He's got experience and can score goals. Just need Jap signed tomorrow. But we still need a good solid 6 up the blaze, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. I think that's kind of what we covered earlier in terms of the middle of the park. And I'm hoping he signs tonight and mine tomorrow. Or he's signed and we're just waiting for the announcement.
Yeah, there's a few rumours flying around. Been spotted preparing shirts for him.
Yeah, I heard that.
There's all sorts of things going around, and I personally I hope they're true.
Well, they have an 8 p.m. announcement.
Well, they do. They love it, don't they? They love an 8 p.m. So we'll wait and see. Lucas Blade, evening, lads. I'll do another. Watching United for 77.5 years. Jasper, giving way too much away there, pal. Teaches you patience, but fair play.
Well done, that man.
Fair play to you, Jasper. You get in there, mate. Brilliant.
Wow.
You've suffered more than the rest of us, so you have every right to tell us to pipe down. You'll go, mate.
Yes. Stephen says, can't believe it's pig day and we haven't got me and Tanganga signed, sealed and delivered. Absolutely pathetic. COH, or are they negotiating Sayer's departure? Could be anything. It could be done, and it could be social media-y stuff. It could be waiting on a signature. Fax machine could be broken. There's all sorts of things it could be. Let's be positive.
Yeah, let's try. Let's keep trying. Ricky, hi, Mr. Mountain and Dave the Nose. This is from me. That's normally relaxed if we get a battering at Middlesbrough with no proper. Does he carry on? No, I can't see if he carries on. Yeah, we don't want a battering. Dave, question. Interesting. Yeah. I hope. Do you think Sayers goes if we get battered at the weekend?
Should. Not sure if he will. I think they might give him the international break, especially if we bring players in to see how he goes with that, maybe up to the next international break. But for me, if we're staring down the barrel of the same stuff that we've had every game since the season started, he's got to go.
So next question, and again, put you on the spot here, mate. What does he need to do to survive this? What does he need to do to survive this? The next, like, to get to 10 games. What do we need to do results-wise as a club for him to survive in his job?
He doesn't need to win every. I mean, results matter at the end. At the end of the day, the results matter, don't they? So if we play badly and we win every game 1-0, he keeps his job. So he's got to get results. I think that's the long and short of it.
Yeah, I'd say I think he has to get four out of 6 wins, maybe. To get
2 points a game, doesn't
he? I think he might need that just to keep hold of his job.
And if let's be right, if he over what we've done 3 games, so if he over the next 7 games averages 2 points a game, he should keep his job. It's not stay of execution for me. I think you don't then. I mean, we did it in the summer, didn't we? But you don't particularly when the season's going. After 10 games and you've started to get the results coming in that you're expecting from the start, you don't change the manager at that point for me.
Okay, you heard it here first. The unofficial there. Big game coming up. In my opinion, he now has the tools. If Tanganga signs, I think he's best in class we could hope for. He has no excuses now. Win and keep your job. Skyblade laying it on the line for him there.
Jasper's back again. Never get too excited when things are good or down when things are bad. Never a truer word spoken. Said that to my lad all the time.
Mate, you're my part of the managing a kids football team, mate. We know what it's like. I do exactly the same thing. It is the one lesson I hope they learn as they get older. Football will always come back and bite you. Think Sayers will go if we lose this. Noah's as and probably Hackney for them. We have to win. If it's another poor performance, I want him gone. Bean has said it. He wants him out of there. Go on, Dave.
Yeah, super positive, Jack. Danny Ings is a good signing, but only works if you can provide him service, which we are, for some reason, allergic to. I said this on Monday night when we broke about him training with us that we need to provide him with the service. We need to feed him, otherwise he's just going to be stood about. So yeah, totally agree.
I think we were very, very unlucky personally. I think Sayers and us as supporters were very unlucky not to get anything out of the Millwall game. I really, having watched it back, we should have had a point minimum. We should have at least had a point. So I think it's all conspiring against him a little bit. I'm just hopeful it can change. Evening, Paul and Jimmy. Hope you are both well. Some fans need to give their heads a bit of a wobble. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. But
David, how's your eye? The one working eye. I think you need to just check that comment again because
head's a big wobble.
No, start from the beginning.
Evening, Paul and Jimmy. Oh yeah. I can see the resemblance, mate. Yeah,
we've both got heads.
I know what you both got heads. That's right. Yeah. That's what you get. The Cyclops. Anyway, never mind. Jimmy Ramble. There he is. Main man. Still tuning in. Never on holiday. Good evening, gents. Hope you're both well. More signings tonight. Spill the beans, Jimmy, and surprise appearance. All right, not seeing what's been said. Yeah, we're not interested. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to see it. But yeah, I've put that to bed already. We're here to enjoy it, and I know it's hard at the minute, but yeah, don't shoot the guy trying to give you some info. Well said, lads. Up the blades at the Ramble. There we go. Dave.
So Danny says, evening all. Really hope we get something versus Borough, although I'm not confident. So what's everyone's thoughts on the team selection when Saturday comes? Have we properly covered that?
I think it's hard, mate. Until we know who's available.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the 3-4-1-2-2-1-3, whatever.
No, the only thing we can do, Paul, is pick it based on who is holding the shirt as we speak.
Yeah, but I don't think, and the reason I'd go, he's only just signed, doesn't have to earn his place, is nobody can stand there and go, you can't drop me.
Agreed. But as we've heard about the being bumps in the road, nothing's done until he's stood there holding it. So maybe we've got to pick it based on who we definitely know is available rather than who we hope so available.
I know. Yeah, I know. There's Ricky declaring his love for Jimmy. And great setup here at the Ramble. Thank you very much. Not won at Borough since 1997. Mark.
Always positive. Always positive.
I don't believe it. So something that Wilder's been approached. Oh my God, Nige, that is outlandish. Who's told you that? Oh dear, I don't know. Wilder's been approached. Oh, okay. I don't know. Well, again, we'll never know the answer to that one, mate. But it sounds a bit, I don't know, wild, really. I can't see him entertaining it. No. But anyway, evening, guys. Blades loving it. Yeah, that's true, Jamie. You are correct. Love Danny Ings signing, by the way. I think he will score goals. Keep him fit. Give him the ball. It'll happen. He's plenty good enough, that's for sure. Still no news on the 3 defenders. Not yet. Don't hold your breath, Andrew. Don't hold your breath. Could be something very soon. Could be something very soon. Dave.
Really hope we get a change from Sayers' ball as well. It just doesn't work, and we look as deadly going forward as a Care Bear. Got to get some balls into the box. Can't keep turning back to Coops. The turning back is frustrating. At certain points, I understand that you have to lay traps, and when you can't get, you can't take advantage of them, you've got to recycle the ball and start again. But yeah, sometimes I don't think it's so much of the playing of turning and playing the ball back. It's just playing a bit quicker at times and taking a few more risks so that you don't get, you don't get blocked off.
Dave, you've hit the nail. Bang in the middle. I'm telling you, Kiefer Moore can't stop scoring for Wrexham. When you watch how he scores his goals, you get the ball wide, you put it straight in. Why do you put it straight in? So the defenders can't get themselves sorted. It's not rocket science. You don't have to be in the perfect position all the time, and you don't have to always do the thing where you cut in and try and float something. Sometimes it's got to be get the ball out your feet. Ask David Beckham. It worked. He had a reasonable career doing exactly that over and over and over and over again. I'm with you, absolutely with you on it. So yeah, I agree. Put it in quick. Give the striker a chance to catch the defender off guard rather than letting him set. Put the kettle on. Get touch tight. Get your arms around him. Block his runs off. It's not rocket science. Not Solomon barriers, Michael. I think we need to give him more of a chance. We need to give him more of a chance, definitely. Bender made a really good save from him on the weekend. He looks dangerous when he cuts in. I think there's definitely a player there, Michael. So we'll just give him a chance. Matthew, Paul, keep your mouth shut. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's the feeling. Come on, Ramblers. If you don't respect Messenger, we risk not getting any information. That's right. Listen. We are lucky enough to be quite close to Jimmy now, and I tell you now, if it carries on and that's the way it goes, none of this information will end up getting out anywhere because we will tell him not to give it to you because we do it because we want to know, we want you to know, he wants you to know, and that's how you need to go about this. All right, 100% agree on Gus and O'Hare, Paul. Since since Bristol, they can't play in the same team for me. Yeah, I get it. I could see it if they were part of the two behind the one. I could. Yeah. In my dreams, that works, and we've seen it happen quite a few times on the pitch, haven't we? Where three of them connect. The Campbell, O'Hare, and Hamer combination, if given the freedom to go and do it, they can produce some really clever football between them in terms of the movement, the run.
At times, O'Hare and Gus. Sometimes last season, it's just got to be in the right context.
But also, Dave, are you still with me that O'Hare needs to pull the trigger? For God's sake,
he has a couple of times this season. I think someone's had a word with him, or he's been watching you. I think he was a little bit more starting to pull it.
Yeah, he had a go, didn't he, on the weekend? He went far away. He needs to pull the trigger. When he did in the pre-season, he smashed it in the top corner, didn't he? So
yeah.
If you remember correctly. Anything on Woo, lads? No? Well, woo. Okay. And there he is, the Messiah. I'll be shocked if things starts on Saturday. Well, yeah, I will too. But
sensational.
But yeah, it could be sensational. Any news on me? I don't know, Nigel. Tell us about it. I don't know.
I stand by that. I think that's down to who else comes in or departs.
Okay. Inject some life into the squad. Okay.
Get you down in there for some of your how positive some of your rambles get, mate. You should be in changing room telling him to.
Oh dear, they'd laugh at me. I'm afraid, Dave. Disagree on Gus and O'Hara. O'Hara is needed for me.
Not Jamie O'Hara. God no.
O'Hare. Yeah, Gus is the reason we won games 1-0 last season. Yeah, Nigel, fully paid up member of that club. Know that. We haven't had forget Oxlade Chamberlain. A bit jealous someone else has been linked to him, to be honest.
Nah.
Feel a bit left out. Go on, Dave.
Right, Ricky says, what worries me is we have great players, player of the championship, player of the year, Hamer, best left back in the league this season, Burrows, Cooper in net, O'Hare, Peck, and we find ourselves at the bottom.
It's right, Ricky.
Yeah, that's why.
Again, let's see where we are in a few games. Go again, Dave.
Brian says, like, share, and subscribe to the Blades Ramble, your number one Blades forum, simply best on the net. Costs not a bean to join the family.
Yeah, and now you can add hype. Have you seen that, Dave? Have you been on and done it?
I've been hyping, mate. I've been hyping.
Right. Don't believe it, but do believe it. The hype.
There's something about XP as well. I was looking at yesterday, and I was like, something like press something XP. So I was like, I had to ask Aaron what it meant.
Oh no, I kept playing. I kept pressing it, thinking I was getting more and more hype. But there you go. The player we'll go for the midfield spot is Ben Sheaf. I think we'd have to pay a pretty penny, Lee, for that kind of action. I'm afraid he won't be cheap, as you say, but he's in the last year of his contract. Is he?
Does people really want it? Look, Coventry have started really well. Maybe those guys are just starting to enjoy playing under Lampard. Would he want to leave that to come to us?
At the minute, it's a no-brainer for him, isn't it? But the Coventry, can we steal half of Coventry's team with Gus and Cal? Are they all mates? You never know. Hello, hope you're both well. My team for the weekend. Here you go, Phil. Here we go. So Cooper, Burrows, Sariki, Robinson, and Godfrey. Bindon. That's a 5. Samari, Hamer, Samari on his own. Hamer, O'Hare, Barry, Campbell. Okay. 5-1-2-2. Okay. Interesting. 5-1 Desmond. All right. Danny Ings, top signing. If he stays fit, he will score goals. With you, Matthew. Just need to give him the ball somewhere near the goal. Got to say, well done to Dave the Nose on his first solo broadcast the other night. Cracking job, Dave. Great job, Dave.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that, mate.
Mate, yeah. Just effortless, wasn't it, pal? Just effortless.
It certainly was not effortless.
It looked smooth as you want, mate, especially when your face was doing that. But don't worry about it. Like and subscribe, everyone. It's free. Yeah. Get the hype going as well. Like, subscribe. It's for free, and then get the hype on. And go for it, guys. Dave.
Sheila's Wheels. Great chat, Paul and Dave. Has Ben Mee actually signed yet? No, he's not.
Not yet. How about we play Sariki at right wing? Yeah, nice. Yeah, this has been discussed before. Plus, I'd like him on the right of the 4, in front of the 3. So it's like wing backs that can become a 5, but also gives him a bit more license, because that's where he's the most dangerous. That's where he's effective, in my opinion. Really pleased with Ings too. Think he can be a cracking signing. Over to you, Dave.
Nigel says, saw something funny today when Danny Ings was announced. A fan commented saying, great signing for Sayers, only to play him at right back. Yeah. No comment.
Train that's never late. Chirac. I think we're going to turn prolific goal-scoring Ings into another dud. Chirac. You might be right. I hope you're wrong. Oh, please. Let's give him a chance first, eh? Hi, both. No gym, but you're still class. We've got these players in, and I feel some good additions. But surely if we lose Saturday, you've got to look at Sayers going or changing the way he wants us to play, surely. Yeah, I'd like to see a change in the system, Thomas. I'll be honest. I would like to see some changes.
Question then, and this might be one to fire back if people want to put their opinions on it. But
go on, Dave. Go on, Dave.
If we go out on Saturday, we put up a really, really good fight. It's a real close game, and they nick it 1-0 late on, just with a bit of quality. A zinger from 30 yards that you just can't account for. Are we still on at him going, you've got to go or change how you play? If we've looked
I think the lack of goals from us, Dave, is alarming. And I think if we lose 1-0, we fail to score.
Or 2-1 then. What I'm saying is if we just are pipped by a moment of magic, are we saying, right, got to go? Well, against Borough away with their start.
I think if... Right, so you think about last weekend, right? So I think if we play like we did in the second half, in the first half, and then we play like we did in the second half, like we did. If we get anywhere near those levels and we lose 1-0, I'd put that down as a massively unlucky result. I still think it's an unlucky result. The first half we were awful. Swansea, we were awful. Okay, the second half at home to Bristol, we were awful. There's been too much poor halves of football, and you can quantify it in 20-minute spells, 30 minutes. I'll put it down to a half because it's easy. It's easier to quantify. And we've had so many of those. We've had 2 decent halves since he started in any game. In Birmingham, we were hapless, as well. So we've had 2 decent halves in 4 games, which means the other 6 halves have been garbage.
Yeah.
I think the whole attitude, Dave, for me, if we can put together two good halves of football where we are banging the game, we've got to score a goal. Look at the talent. Look how many goals we scored last season. We've got to be able to score goals. Part of his system, the benefit of it is that you create more chances, you score more goals. Yeah, you might concede a couple more, but actually you're going to score a lot more goals. This is the benefit of his system of vertical football. If we're not scoring any goals and we're not playing well and we look clueless, Dave, I think that is the key kicker for most of us. I know what you're saying. Does it matter about the result? Yes, of course. But also, I believe that even if we got a scrappy 1-0 and played really poorly, I still think it's got to be about showing us that we can play. If we play like we did in the first half against Bristol or the second half against Millwall, and we've been doing that fairly consistently, no one would be on his back.
Yeah, fair. But we haven't.
But we haven't, so it bloody matters. All right. Yeah. I think Danny is great signing. Level Evan at 33. Yeah, even at 33. Even
33 is not what it was, is it?
And also he's been on the bench, hasn't he, a lot in the last couple of years, and that could benefit him one way in that he's fresh. It could also not benefit him that he's not going to get sharp again because it's been a long time since he was scoring goals regular, but he's played at a lot higher level than the Championship. And if he can show any of the class that we've seen from him over the years, then we are in for a treat, I would say. Dave?
Chris says, I'll be watching the Mighty Blades from sunny Mallorca. Let's hope for 3 points so the holiday doesn't get ruined and I don't have to listen to Gobby Borough fans.
Mate, jealous. Rumour going about that Cannon's going. Okay, I would keep him unless he's a rabbit in a hat forward coming in. Unless there is a rabbit in hat forward.
I saw that on X earlier, the Preston fan account with a gif of a cannon going off.
Okay.
I mean, that could mean anything.
Yeah, it could. Dave?
Eldog, is Tanganga ever going to get announced, lads? How many times can I refresh Twitter in one day? Well, we're 3 minutes off 8 o'clock, so, you never know. 3 minutes, it might happen.
Campbellingham's are goal scorers, but they need chances. No shots on target against Swansea, so no one is going to score. Cannon has critics, but little unfair. Yeah, I still don't think I think you get him in a 2, you give him 10 games, you might see something that you like. You leave him in a 1, you stick him out on the right. He's not the guy. But anyway, evening, gents. Hope you're both well. Up the Blades at the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. And the hype, like and hype, baby. That's how we do it now. Justin Rice, on the Borough game, I would normally be happy with a point, but there we need a win. Sellers, or does a point and a decent show keep him in a job? Decent show keeps him in a job, Justin, for me.
It probably gets the international after the international break, doesn't it? If it's a decent show.
We've got to look like we know what we're doing for at least an hour.
Yeah. Paul says, we keep talking about Hamer for the weekend. He might not be here. I think he will.
Cooler King, Villa fan. Big part of the Ramble, though. It always talks sense. Go on, Dave.
Ings won't last 90 yet. So in bullying defenders for 60, 70 minutes, followed by Ty Campbell coming on against Ty defenders could be the way to go. Ings has little value as an impact sub. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure he'll. I agree. I'm not sure it'll play out that way personally, but I'll be happily proved wrong.
I think he's signing. I also think a lot will sign transfer deadline day. Yeah, we think. Well, I've got a belief that there'll be a couple before the end. There might be one on the way out as well. That's not ITK. That is what I think. I think one of them will.
I've got a bit of a prediction for you then. What I think is going to happen on deadline day, and just to put the cat amongst the pigeons, that we end up scrapping and scraping for a right back last minute on Monday because the Wu saga's dragged on and on and on and on and on. I can just see it happening.
Okay. Any names to throw in the mix, Dave? Are you gonna tell
Right
us?
back.
Yeah.
No idea. No idea.
No idea.
Sorry.
He's good as well. No idea. All the strikers we've ever signed scored goals until they came to us. Oh, position is cursed. No perfect striker at the lane since Billy back in Div 1 nearly a decade ago.
Pretty prolific for most of his time with us, Shrek, to be fair, during that last spell. It was only maybe that last season or so when he'd not played as much. That's a bit unfair on him.
Any more of an update, Paul? You mentioned attacking midfielder. Afraid not, Sheila. I can't help you. Did someone say the 8 o'clock announcement? Yeah, we did. We're nearly there. Getting there. Leon Clark, 1 season on fire. He did. It's hard. They're hard to find these strikers who score 20 goals. No, Jamie said United love an 8 o'clock announcement. I did. Yes. Oh, come on. Is there something we're going to find out? Dave's looking at the phone. Okay, so I'm gonna motor through a little bit now and be a bit more selective. I hope that people don't mind. But
they love a 9 o'clock announcement, don't they?
Yeah. No. I've heard 10's good as well. 10's
or 11.
Yeah, 11's good
11.
too. Yeah, it'll be fine. Oh gosh, come on, StreamYard. What are you doing? Okay. Right, let's go. Yes, good evening. Oh yes, there's a lot of saying hello to each other. Come on. Billy Sharp, Braindead, Janaga Fjord, Andy Walker, Martin Smith, Jostein Flo, and all that crowd. I think Ings, me, and Redmond are good signings on a rotation. Yeah, I agree. Back to you, Dave.
Small majority of fans are a disgrace at the moment, acting like spoiled little children.
Okay. Cannon in 10, potentially a deeper striker, says Jamie Dumpling. No. If you watch him at Stoke, his open play goals, about 8% of them. Sorry, Jay.
It's like Brewster all over again.
I don't think he's, yeah, here we go. Brewster again, I love that. Good timing. Here we go, Youngie. Here he is, the Texan cowboy. Brooks, you can only cut inside. The defenders show him the outside, knowing he will cut inside. Paul, I agree with you, mate. He's been doing it for too long. He needs to be able to go both ways. It's criminal for a player not to be two-footed enough to go both ways, in my opinion. Yeah, it's a totally different dimension to your game.
If he's got designs of being a top-level footballer, he's going to have to learn.
Yeah. He's top. He's spot on there, Paul, with that. Hi, Brian. Can't you remember Andy Walker? Yeah, Andy Walker loves a diving header, if I remember correctly. Did he score a few of them? Or was that Carl Viet? Paul, Dave, any truth in the West Ham rumour for Burrows? No idea, mate. Hopefully not.
I imagine they possibly are looking at him. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to go for him. We'll have looked at loads of players.
Okay, Fez, did anyone hear the caller on Football Heaven? He reckons the board have been in contact with Wilder. Oh, God, I could just find it. Yeah, I think the guy who was pushing for Sayers has gone, hasn't he, Dave? Is what I heard about this, potentially.
Yes.
And I think a lot of the board still wanted Wilder for obvious reasons. So, yeah, I think for the Wilder debate, I think we just watch a space and see what happens. I think these rumours are likely to be clickbaited into the atmosphere a little bit, and we'd never find out if they were approached anyway, because Wilder would never leak that, and neither would anyone on the board. So I think it's one we have to wait and see for, I'd say, but I wouldn't get your hopes up or start that conversation with too much vigor. Go on, Dave.
Mark says people need to get off Cannon's back. He's our player, had probably less than 10 games in his natural position, needs to run a games. Totally agree. Shouldn't be on any of their backs, really. I know we criticise them, but it shouldn't be on any of the players' backs.
Yeah, I mean, you can do this one, Dave, if you want.
No, it's all you, mate. You read that. I can't read it. I can put my glasses on.
Me neither. I can't see it. Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe to Blaze Ramble. You're number one. Yay. That's right. Costs not a bean to join the family. Brian Cassidy is in the sales mode. Good lad. Maybe Sayers is thinking to play O'Hare, Peck and Hamer together. Yeah, could be. Yeah. I don't like it, to be frank, unless we've got Samari in there as well and they're playing behind a striker. Yeah. That's what you're saying, Jack. I don't think they could play as a 3. Burrows is a pen bombshell waiting to happen in the Prem. Yeah, he's might be good for the dream teams. Dave?
And actually, I won't worry about Burrows. Pot will be getting the sack soon. Overrated manager, and West Ham at risk of relegation. Fans turning against the players sounds familiar. Yeah, they look. I watched them against Chelsea, and they were pretty poor after a pretty electric start. They don't look good.
No. Nothing on sharing on news now. Yeah, that's like the it's like a one story and a load of mirrors news now. They get one story out and then there's like 4 others from different outlets that all say the same thing over and over again. It drives me mad. But anyway, everything I say makes no. Oh, come on, Chirac. Don't concede now, mate. You know what you're on about. Do you still think top 2, if possible, Thomas Denton with your £5?
Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that.
Good lad. Top 2 is still possible. At this point, Thomas, it'd be a hard no. If
possible, of course, it's possible.
But yeah, there's a lot of things.
Unlikely.
There's loads of possible things, Dave. It doesn't mean
we lost 3 games at the end of last season, and then we were close. So yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I think Tom comes back in 10 games. We'll know a bit more. Take the manager out of the equation. Do you genuinely believe the players are good enough to compete? Yes, of course. It's nearly the same team, Brett, as last year. And if you put Tanganga in instead of Anel, and you put you add a Premier League midfielder on loan into Vinny's position,
and Godfrey in for Robbo.
Godfrey in for Robbo. There you go. Yeah, we're looking. There's an argument there to be had, isn't there? Mm. Yeah, playoffs if lucky at this rate. Yeah, he's right. Well, at this rate, mate, but he's staying alive is going to be the thing that we were worried about. Dave, have this one.
Oh, okay. Buenas noches, gents. Seems like we have some good signings coming through the door. Just hope things gel to get a sharpish. Well done, Dave, on a successful first solo flight. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Top man is Paul. How many games did we lose last season? Not a lot, mate. Not many. So we're talking about scraping playoffs with Chris. No chance the top 2 from Chirac. Barry will score if we get him on the ball. I think he's right. I still think we are weak in midfield. I think we do need one more in there.
Crimbo Fishty. Fantastic name.
Yeah, he's done it there. He's got it. What are you? What? You are not Jimmy. My eyes are fine now, Jimmy. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Right. We're going to wrap up in a sec, guys. So if we don't get to your comments, I do apologise. Just a thought on Cannon from Carl. Why do we always play strikers on the wing? Carl, don't ask me, mate. Don't ask me. It's never worked. I don't get it. I'm with you. It's bad. It's bad. Bad news for strikers joining our club. Okay, so I'm going to be a bit more selective. So, Dave, do Cal O'Hare and Hamer play in the same team on Saturday?
Yes, I think they do.
Okay. Do they play as part of a 2 behind a 1?
I'd like to see it tried. Yeah, I would. I think it'd be give us a bit more solidarity in midfield. And I do think when they start clicking those little quick passes between them, I don't think we've got anyone else in the team who can do that as well as those guys can do it together. So yeah, I'd like to see it.
Agree. I think until Ings gets up to speed, he might disrupt that little 3, but I'd love to see that as our top 3 at the top of the pitch. Even if we put in a decent performance, I think he should go. Okay, literally 0 that is short, medium, long term answer. Okay,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, whether you think it or not, I think you look at what will probably happen, and if it's a decent performance, I don't think he does go.
Clip me up, mate. I'd love to be here in a year's time when he's been really successful and took us to the Prem or took us somewhere near it and done really well. I think he needs a miracle, personally. I think. Yeah,
no, I agree, and he seems like a good bloke. So it's hard making a decision so quickly, but your eyes don't lie to you sometimes, and there's lots of telltale signs that we've got some problems that need sorting, and whether he's the guy to do it, I'm not convinced.
This one's for you, Dave. Can you read this one, mate, please?
You two, this last couple of nights, simply the best from you. You just keep going and get me in as captain. That's a big gap in the team. So thank you for the first part of that, David. And I think me's a solid signing for us. I think we should do it.
I agree. There he is.
Mr. V.
Mate, the resident legend, Mr. V. chucking us a few Skrilla just to keep us going. Well done, sir. Or Jimmy going. Jimmy can get another cocktail now. While there is a leader and there is a thinker. That's why we work together. So as a thinker with no leaders. You are correct. He is a student of the game. He's an analyst. He is a coach. Is he a manager? That is my question.
I loved Lee's comment last night. Where he's an analyst and we're playing analytical football. So it was a great take.
Yeah. I wonder about signing Max Aarons. Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Rangers, hasn't he?
Has it? Well, everyone's gone to Rangers. Anyone who even gets mentioned goes to Rangers from us.
Okay.
Up on day for me, RS gets the next 2 games, Riverside, so we can work with the team and get stuck. We are stuck with during the international break. If we lose the first game, after that, he is history. Yeah, I think you might be right. Sure, agrees with you, Dave. With the signings coming in, good signings at that. Do we think the owners will give the manager time to plug it? Again, we don't really know. They got rid of Wilder. He finished 3rd with 92 points. So I don't think they're scared of pulling triggers, especially being American. You know.
Careful.
What? That's not politics, mate. That's just facts, isn't it? There's more guns in America than people.
Well, careful. We don't want to get cancelled when he's on holiday, do we?
No, that's right. We don't condone shooting of any kind. We're here to the blades. We whatever we do with our sword. Sorry, it. Like, share, and subscribe to the Blades Ramble. Your number 1 Blades forum. Thank you, Brian. Brian, have you just sent that in about 4 times now? Thank you very much. But yeah, thanks a lot, mate. Okay, me too.
That's amazing.
Oh, Dave, you're so easily pleased. Look at you. All right, keep it ramble, folks. Yeah, let's keep it ramble. Remember to hype. Get your hype on, guys. We need some hypes, likes and hypes for tonight, please. Doing things with Tanganga. Yeah, well, again, James, they're doing something that we could have thought about before, getting rid of an L, but there you go. We don't have time to wait for a miracle, guys. We need to do it ASAP. DW, I'm on your team, mate. Get Wilder back. It's the only answer. And Dave, I think we've managed it. I think we've done it. Yeah, so guys, whatever happens Saturday, and we are not favourites for this game, we are expected to lose. And this is sometimes where Sheffield United, for me, backs to the walls. We've been there 100 times before, certainly when we've been in the Premier League, and that's when sometimes we see a bit of character and get a reaction. We're adding character to this team this week, that's for sure. Go into the game, don't expect too much, and you just never know, because on paper, I still think we've got a very good team who've got a lot of improvement to come, and it may just be there are a couple of their big hitters. Dave?
Yeah, no, totally agree with that. Don't get too down if it goes badly as well. I know it's a tough thing. It always feels tougher when it's a Saturday lunchtime kickoff and you lose, and it feels like it completely obliterates certainly the rest of your Saturday. Let's try and keep that positivity high. There's lots of good stuff happening, and I've got more than a sneaking suspicion that there might just be somebody on the horizon who might just change how we all feel about the season. I'll leave you with that.
Oh, that's nice, Dave. That's nice. Sound like you might know something. I'm going to say
I'll leave you with that, because things like you've famously said so many times, even on this stream tonight, don't get too excited until people are stood there with a shirt in their hands.
Yes, yeah, that's true. And just to keep the positivity going, if we're rubbish on Saturday, Sayers gets sacked. See you later.